hip transitions, we're going to keep that lead leg on the ground. We're going to work on rotating an external and internal rotation on the rear leg. So here you notice my trunk rotating with my knee, meaning I'm getting more pelvis motion than hip motion. This is a good place for a lot of people to start. If you need to drop to your elbow, you can do that as well, and that'll take some demand out of the hip because your trunk is more parallel to the floor. To make it more intense here, you notice that my trunk stays facing the lead leg, and then I'm rotating through that back hip. And I'm trying to keep my left big toe on the ground to drive the rotation in that hip joint and not have a lot of pelvis motion. And then here, another way that we can kind of change the setup is if I bring my chest back toward that left leg, I'm positioning my left hip in more internal rotation, where it's kind of locking up the hip a little bit more. And then a harder version is going to be coming with my hands off the ground here. You'll notice that again, I'm allowing my trunk to rotate with that leg. So if I want to make this as hard as possible, I'm going to have my trunk vertical, hands off the ground, and I'm going to keep my chest toward that lead leg, and I'm only going to rotate in the rear leg. So again, side view example here is the trunk is starting to go with the leg at first, and I'm going to lean forward here and try to keep my chest parallel with the leg. And then we rotate chest toward the leg, which is going to give me more internal rotation to start. And I'm trying to pivot through my right big toe, and I'm only going as far as I can while keeping my left leg on the ground and not allowing any compensations through my trunk. And then again, we go hands up. And then as my chest comes toward that leg, that's a compensation pattern. I want to eventually rotate my chest toward that lead leg so we can really drive and isolate the motion into that just that hip joint.